And speaking of people from other walks of life that you've interviewed, I noticed recently you did an interview with Paige Van Zandt ahead of her fight at the.
I was just listening to that in my car on the way here.
Oh, with Paige Van Zandt?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, her bare knuckle debut.
Her bare knuckle debut, which she unfortunately lost, but looks like she'll be back eventually. I was wondering, are you an MMA guy?
Yeah, big time. Like I've been a fan since UFC 2, like renting it from Blockbuster. Remember those days? Like there was like a separate little sports section and there was like UFC 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I've been a huge UFC fan since the 90s. And I've been able to interview quite a few people like Stipe Miocic when I lived in Cleveland. He became a friend of mine. I just had Corey Sandhagen on, who had that badass flying knee knockout on Frankie Edgar. So yeah, big UFC fan. I've been to a handful of UFC events. I actually I saw George St. Pierre fight in person at the Rogers Center, which I don't know if it gets much better than seeing UFC with 50,000 other fans.
That was the Jake Shields fight, right?
That's right. Yeah. 50,000 fans or however many, maybe 53. I don't know.
When Mark Hominick stole the show with that,
man, there was
the hematoma.
Yeah.
I looked at this. Yeah, that's right. I looked at this card the other day and I was like, I forgot how like stacked that card was.
That was when I found UFC was like an event. Like, there was one a month, you gather your buddies, you go see it. Now there's one every week. They're just so watered down. I find it's not as big as a spectacle as it used to be. Like, we got Conor McGregor and all that crap. But like, I mean, like back in the day, you'd go, Rampage would be fighting on the card. Opening the card would be Forrest Griffin. You'd have Rashad Evans. Like it would be stacked from top to bottom.
Well,
but I will say that UFC is the one sport that has absolutely crushed during COVID. Every other sport has, really been struggling to make this work. UFC is just dominating.
Yeah. I thought they were the one sport that works better without fans.
I would argue that might be the case.
Yeah.
No, and I would kind of disagree with you, Kyle, because I like the fact that there's so many UFC events. And, I'm probably as big of a fan as Chris. Sounds like he's a pretty diehard fan. And man, I like the fact that I can just relax on a Saturday night and watch some fights every week. To me, the fight nights are just as good as the pay-per-views. Oftentimes they're even better than the pay-per-views. And the way I always tell people at UFC is, give it a chance for like a month. You'll definitely see at least somebody that you like, whether it's their fighting style, whether it's their personality, their promos, whatever it is, and you'll want to see them fight again, and you'll get hooked on it. I think it's one of the easiest sports to get hooked on if you like, combat, if you like martial arts, similar to wrestling.
Yeah,
I just kind of feel like you have to be rich to enjoy it because the pay-per-view is like $70,
but it's worth it, man. It's when it comes down to it, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like I'm not a person, I never have done drugs in my life. I've never drank alcohol, but I feel like watching the UFC, it gives me that rush. It gives me that feeling of, seeing a great knockout or seeing a guy work to get a submission. I can respect all styles of combat and how it all just comes together, how a great technical striker can avoid being taken down, how, the opposite, where a wrestler can impose his grappling like Khabib or like a Kamaru Usman or a Colby Covington. I think that once you get to know the fighters and the fighting styles, and then you see them match up against each other with the personalities on top, it's almost like what wrestling is supposed to be, but it's done better and it's real.
To me, I like a good jiu-jitsu match. That when I first got into UFC, I remember it was on the Ultimate Fighter. So I would watch Raw, and then an hour later, Ultimate Fighter would be on. It was the first season. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then it blew up, and then I slowly got into it more, and I actually went to do jiu-jitsu. So I did it for about 6 to 8 months. And knowing it while you're watching it, and exactly what they're doing, what they're going for, it made it so much better.
Yeah.